Hello, and welcome to the next installment of Family Fun Day. I'm Elise Solomon, the Director of Learning and Engagement at the Taft Museum of Art. Today, our project is inspired by landscape murals by Robert S. Duncason. These murals are one of my favorite parts of the permanent collection at the Taft. When you look at them closely, you're transported to beautiful landscapes that combine both a mixture of real and imagined locations. So today we're going to make torn paper landscapes inspired by these paintings. All right, let's get started. So what do you need for torn paper landscapes? You need paper, markers, scissors if you want to, tape or glue or glue. And so what kind of paper I've been using is either paper that I've sort of already colored on. See, I was practicing some brush calligraphy. So it has some interesting colors on there. I also have been saving some of my junk mail, so, like catalogs from Costco here, or things from my mail-in ballot. And so, so what you want to do is make sure you have a nice assortment of different colors and different textures for your landscape composition. So then you also need a plain sheet of paper. Now I'm using copy paper, but you could use notebook paper, you can use cardboard, you can use whatever surface that you've got available to you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now there are three parts to a landscape. You have your foreground, your middle ground, and your background. And so I kind of like to start with my background first. And so what I've done here is I've already cut up some paper. I'm going to think about maybe a sunset. So I have some orange paper here, and I'm going to use glue. You can also use tape if you want to, but glue, I just find it works a little bit faster, except for you have to dry it. But we'll see if this works because it has been kind of jamming on me. It's okay if it's not perfect. And I think that's another thing about this project is that it really does not need to be a perfect composition. I think that, we're kind of going abstract here, and that's the fun about it because it's totally open to interpretation. And I think that's really fun because it gives you a lot of freedom with what you want to do. I can tell I have some longing to go out into different parts of nature right now. I would really love to be on a beach somewhere, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a beach scene. Some of my family lives in Florida, and I am just like dying to one day be able to get out of social distancing and sink my toes into the sand. So, all right, so we have some fun strips for our sky going on over here. So that is our background. All right, and again, you don't need to cover every single surface. You can do whatever you want to. I think it's fun to kind of leave some of the negative space, which is like the blank paper back there. Then I found some sort of blue strips of paper, so I'm going to use that next. All right. And I think it's also good too. Like I like the ragged edge on these. I think that's a really nice part of this. It adds some visual interest to your piece as well. This really is not about precision. This is about just having fun with the materials that you have around in your house. I mean, I think we all get enough junk mail, so probably some interesting paper that you have lying around. All right, so now I have some bigger pieces I'm going to use for my sand. So I see some brown in here. Like I said, I really am missing the beach right now. All right. So I have some tape actually here, so I'm going to go ahead and use that on these bigger pieces. Yeah, like what I also found too was that whenever I did these, if I needed to trim the edges around my paper, that also worked totally fine. Now when I've looked this up, some people do these with a lot more precision, but I really like the sort of improvised nature of it. I think that really adds some fun to it. All right, so this is my rough one right here, my quick one right here. The nice thing is you can take as long or as short as you want to with this. So we have our sandy beach over here. This is one where it took maybe just a little bit more time, and I used some colored paper that I had lying around. and so I made a mountain scene inspired by the time that I lived in North Carolina, and I miss those Appalachian mountains there. So we have our mountains and our foreground and a little stream going through here. So imaginary, but inspired by experience that I have had. So I hope you have fun. If you are interested in seeing more videos like this, check out taftmuseum.org and check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and #TaftMuseumDiscovered. Until next week, see you later.